So the other day I found out that the CIA is preparing some kind of criminal referral against me, a crime report to the Department of Justice on the basis of a supposed crime I committed. What's that crime? Well,
so the ship is leaking oil. Man. The radical right and the radical left. See, the thing is with Trump and this administration, they don't give a darn about nobody. They don't care nothing about the radical right or the radical left. The radical right thought that they could just do whatever they want to do, say whatever they want to say. But the minute you go against Trump, the minute you say anything or you do anything that Trump disagrees with, man, they coming for you. So now Tucker Carlson is on the chopping block. And we know he's been saying very disparaging things about Pam Bondi. He's been saying things about Donald Trump, voicing his opinion on that protected class and that protected group and what they got going on over there right now with the war and everything. Tucker Carlson, he's been a staunch opponent. He's been coming against this administration. Now, mind you, at one point, he was all in support, saying all kinds of bad things about the black community and everybody else. But all of a sudden, these are radical conservative Christians. They have their values. Now, all of a sudden, they care about the Arabs and Iran and all the things that's going on there. 10 years ago, they didn't care. These people, it's like a flip-flop, it's a game. But now Tucker's in trouble, and he's talking like this.
Too, actually. So let's just assess this logically. They're covering up, the DOJ, the current DOJ under Pam Bondi is covering up crimes. Very serious crimes by their own description. Mm-hmm. Why are they doing that?
Yeah.
So there are really only two potential explanations that I can think of. Maybe you've got another. The first is that Trump is involved, that, Trump is on the list, that they've got tape of Trump doing something awful. Year of their lives. And so naturally, most of them believe it. So when Charlie Kirk is shot in the throat with a 30-06 on camera, I doubt very many young Americans want to see something like that or actually applaud the death of a man, a father, a husband. But they've been told for their entire lives in schools exactly what Pam Bondi just told them. Well, there's free speech, but then there's also hate speech, and woe to those who engage in it because it's a crime. That's a lie.
Now, Tucker Carlson is under fire because they're saying that he was talking and in conversations with people in Iran before the war jumped off, right? So Pam Bondi and the Trump administration, they're thinking about bringing him up on charges. They're saying that he could have been a spy. He could have been having conversations with spies. So now you have all kinds of incidents right now happening on American soil, and they could be implicating Tucker Carlson with it. Now, I'm no Tucker Carlson fan. I'm just reporting the news. But when you hit your wagon to these kind of people, this is what happened. This is the blowback. They don't care. Anything you say against these people, they coming for you. Trump was the president once. He felt like he couldn't run the show the way he wanted to. So he got that administration out. He come back with his team. Now he running wild, right? And I mean, like, listen, man, this thing is getting real goofy. Tucker is scared. He's talking like this.
Talking to people in Iran before the war. They read my texts. So the crime under consideration apparently would be the Foreign Agent Act or something like that, acting as an agent of a foreign power. And I don't expect this to go anywhere. I'm not too worried about an actual criminal case against me for a bunch of reasons. One, I'm not an agent of a foreign power. Unlike a lot of people commenting on U.S. politics and global affairs, I have only one loyalty, and that's the United States, and have never acted against it. Its interests are the only interests I care about because I'm from here and I have a lot of kids. So that's not a concern. I've also never taken money from anybody. Don't need it, don't want it, and that's provable. And moreover, it's my job to talk to everybody all the time and try and figure out what's happening around the world. That's literally what I do for a living. And I'm not going to stop doing that, nor should I don't think. I'm also an American. I can talk to anybody. I have no secrets to divulge. So legally, I think the case is ludicrous, and I doubt it will even become a case. I'm bringing this up for a couple of reasons, though, and they're pretty obvious. One is that countries tend to become more authoritarian in wartime. It's just the nature of war. People are dying. The stakes are high. People's emotions have risen to a very high point, to a crescendo. And so there's much less tolerance for any kind of dissent in the homeland. The irony, of course, is the United States fights wars on behalf of freedom, but there's always less of it here in our country during war. So that's a widely recognized phenomenon, and it's likely to happen now too. Another point to make that is worth knowing is that the USIC, the intelligence agency, spy on Americans. Now, you probably knew that, and it's been revealed a lot, including by Julian Assange and Ed Snowden, both of whom were threatened with death for revealing it, but everyone knows. But it's probably a little more widespread than most people understand, and it's outrageous. There's no justification for your government, which you own, you're a shareholder in it, you pay for it, to be violating your privacy like this. But it happens all the time. And in fact, one of the reasons that CIA or people within CIA, just to be clear, it's a huge, sprawling, disconnected agency. What it does in a specific case doesn't represent what everybody in the building thinks, but there are some people who are mad at me for my views about Israel, and they have some latitude.
So the CIA, man, is known for doing all kinds of wild stuff behind the scenes. We know that already. We know how the CIA get down. But we know before the CIA, it was the OSS. It was the Office of Strategic Services, right? And then, what was that, 1942? But then CIA came in 1947, man. And they do a lot of backdoor stuff, man. They go into countries, man, destabilize countries. They do all kinds of stuff. That's like your shadow government. You got the CIA, but then you got stuff going on that you don't know about. And Tucker Carlson is in hot water with these people because he spoke out against that protected group. Man, listen, they at war right now. He's been accused of doing interviews with the ops, man, all kinds of stuff. You already know they're going to come after you. But he wasn't done talking.
And one of the reasons they pass on criminal complaints, in effect, to law enforcement is to justify warrants for spying on Americans. So that is an absolutely real thing. But the main reason they do it is to leak the existence of the investigation, such as it is, to the media, and then humiliate and terrify the subjects of this op. And that's, of course, happened to me repeatedly, many times, including in famously 2021, when I was still at Fox News and trying to set up an interview with Vladimir Putin. And the NSA, I heard from someone there, had grabbed my text messages with an American citizen and had leaked them to news outlets. Those texts were basically my attempts to set up an interview with the foreign head of state, and they leaked them to the New York Times in order to stop the interview, which they successfully did, by the way. And they admitted that they were spying on me. This is not a fantasy. It actually happened. They did it again 2 years later. My second attempt to get a Putin interview, I managed to get it anyway, and they've done it since. And so when you get a call from a reporter who knows the contents of your texts, it's pretty clear something's going on. None of this, in my judgment as of right now, is a huge threat to me, so I'm not making this video to complain about it or whine or ask you to send me money because I'm under attack. I'm saying it because it's true, and you should know what your own government is doing, and you should know what the stakes are. And you should know that a lot of what happens in this country that affects outcomes happens behind the scenes. Some of it is legal, some of it is not, including what I'm describing now. But it has an effect. And the intel agencies, again, not everyone in the intel agencies, because there are decent, hardworking Americans who work in the intel agencies are Americans, just like there are decent, hardworking Americans who work at the DMV. But there are also people with agendas and grudges and no sense of restraint who are happy to misuse the power they have, granted them by our elaborate secrecy laws, to hurt fellow Americans for ideological reasons. That is entirely real. That's the story of Russiagate. And it's likely that things like that will begin to happen at greater scale now. So you should just know that going forward. Thanks.
So he's in hot water with them people. So people online start saying, open source intel said, some are saying you were passing over information to the IRGC, right? Then this other guy said, if they start arresting media figures opposing this war, our freedom is gone. No one will be able to object after that. There are Israeli assets all over our government. So now they're spying on Americans on behalf of that group. This level of occupation is unbearable, right? People voicing their opinion, man. They coming out, they upset, right? And then Amy Kasparin said, this is extremely disturbing, right? when you discover the CIA has been reading your texts in order to frame you for a crime, right? Man, listen, he's in hot water with these people because he decided to be in bed with these people. Then here come Candace Owens, right? Candace Owens, she comes out and says, if they come for Tucker, we ride at dawn. Really nothing else here to say. We're not doing Gorgeous 2.0 with these Bolsheviks descendants. Oh, she called them Bolshevik descendants, man. Brent Scher said, admitting that you were texting with Iran while you were lobbying the president in the White House against fighting Iran and expecting to be seen as a victim might be the new definition of insanity. So, you know, that's probably one of them small hats that came out, and voiced his opinion. But again, when you get in bed with these folks, man, it's video footage of him in full support of that group. The minute you decide to speak out against them, now they try to frame you for a crime, right? You got all kinds of people in hot water right now that's speaking out against that protected group. And we already saw how Donald Trump pledged his allegiance to them, and they called him the small hat president, right? They already, man, listen, man. He pledged his allegiance. But y'all gotta let me know what y'all think, man. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like button, subscribe to Street Media TV, leave your comments in the comment section. Remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.